Hi guys. So I'm just gonna tag our life for today. I'm going to be talking all about the skincare. Just to introduce myself, everyone, I'm Dr. Geetika, founder and medical director of Isaac Lux. And today I'm going to talk about my skincare essentials and what is it that I use personally and how you can make the best out of everything that you are using, and how to make sure that these things can be beneficial for your skin type. We're going to do a small chat about assessing your skin type to know what skin type do you have and how you can switch your skincare routine and use it appropriately. So skincare is something that we all have been talking about for ages, and it has actually evolved. The whole talk about skin has evolved. There's a lot of knowledge that has come to us as to why skincare is important and how these products have been beneficial. So great skin is just not simply your matter of DNA, but it is also a matter of your skin habits and skincare habits that you do every day, and also your habits and lifestyle that you have, be it what you eat, how is your sleeping pattern, and what fitness regime you're having. Everything has shown its effects on the skin. So our target whenever we are customizing a skincare routine is to not only tune up your complexion so that it performs the best, your skin cells are performing the best, and also to troubleshoot and target any of the skin issues that you might be facing, be it the uneven skin tone, pigmentation, or be it acne, be it dermatitis. So the idea to make a skincare routine is always to target that. And whenever you're doing this or getting any new skincare brand or a product into your skin regime, make sure that you stick to it at least for about 6 weeks to see any good results. Because consistency is also something very, very important. You have to use the product regularly in the right routine, and you have to follow it at least for 6 weeks to see any good result. But whenever you're starting any new product, you have to make sure you apply only a small amount. You can mix it in with some moisturizer so that it doesn't give you any reaction, and then you can start abiding by it. So let's start with something that we all know about is cleansers. So why are cleansers important? Many times I see my patients in the clinic wherein they tell me that, oh, we don't even wash our face, we don't go out, so we don't need to wash our face. But washing face is very important because your skin is coming in direct contact with pollution, with dirt, with sweat. So you have to wash your face every morning and at night. And if you're going out in the sun or you are working out, then you have to wash your face even after that, because that sweat that is accumulating on your face can clog up the pores, and once the pores are clogged, then acne can happen. So washing the face is important. Now cleansers are very important. You don't have to use abrasive cleansers that a lot of people make at home with home pulses and stuff, because they're quite abrasive in nature. You can do that once in a week, but not every day, because that can strip away the natural skin oils from the face and make your skin even more dry. So first of all, you need to know your skin type. So there's a very simple test that I will tell all of you that you can do at home. So just wash your face in the morning with a nice pH balanced face wash, and then leave your face as it is. Don't apply anything on the face. Just leave your face as it is. And if your face tends to become stretchy and dry, then you have a dry skin. And if you tend to start accumulating some oil on the face, then you have oily skin, especially on the T-zone and on the cheeks as well. But if you feel that your skin is feeling just normal and you don't feel any stretchiness or oiliness, then you just have a normal skin. But if it is a combination, oily on the T-zone and dry and stretchy on the cheeks, then you have a combination skin. But if there is a skin type which is sensitive, that becomes rash, red, or you can even get very irritated skin, that is a skin which is sensitive skin type. So first of all, you need to know what skin type you have, and then you choose a face wash according to that. Now, if you have a normal skin, you can actually put anything on your face, be it your creamy cleanser, foamy cleanser, anything. So the face wash or the cleansers can be foamy, that when you put water inside them, they become foamy cleanser. And then there can also be creamy cleansers which are very soft And then there are cleansers for oily combination skin type and oily skin type, which is acne prone, which also has salicylic acid inside them. There are cleansers which are there for more sensitive skin like Cetaphil and other, which are very creamy again. So what I'm using, I'm going to show you that. So in my beauty closet, there is FCL. There has small tiny beads which get activated once I use it with water. So you just have to mix it with water. It's a foamy cleanser which has vitamin C beads inside. So it just makes your face very, very clean and nice in the morning. Now on the days when my skin feels very, very dry or very, very sensitive, then I would use something like this, which is from Bioderma. This is Intensive Gel Moussant. It's Atoderm. So Atoderm is their range of products which is meant for more sensitive skin type. And then I have a cleanser when my skin is just feeling normal, but I don't want to use any BD cleanser or something which is exfoliating. Then I would just use my favorite Cetaphil, which is a gentle foaming cleanser. So it's always a good idea to have different products in your closet and use that permutation combination depending on how your skin is feeling. So going back to it for everyone who is joining in now, we're talking about skincare products, how to use them, what to use, and I'm going to share my secrets as to what I'm using for my skin. So if you have oily skin, use a foaming cleanser which also has some salicylic acid. If you have normal dry skin, then you can use something which is more creamy. If you have sensitive skin, use cleansers which have sensitive skin written on them because they are more gentler on the skin. Now after washing your face comes the step of toner. Now toner is a step which a lot of people actually confuse still, that they are really drying and they have more alcohol inside, because that was what was done many years back, more for acne prone skin, because they were alcohol based and they were used to dry the acne, and it really used to cause a lot of dryness on the face. But nowadays toners have come actually as a supplement. It's a supplement in your skincare routine which also is like a thin liquid, and it is an extra shot of vitamins and nutrients that you can be giving to your skin. So these toners have to be imbibed after washing your face. Now how to use them? There are two ways to use them. Either you can use a cotton pad, like just simple cotton pad that you get. You can put it on the cotton pad and put dab all over your face, which I'm sure a lot of people do that. But the right way to do is you can actually just put that cotton into two halves, make it more thin, and then put the product inside, because we don't want the product to be getting wasted. But what I do generally when I use a toner is I just put the liquid on my palm and dab on my face, because the right idea is that we don't want to waste any product. So the toner that you will be using not only balances the pH of your skin, but also works as a mild exfoliant. So you should use a toner with ingredients that are not there in your serum or your moisturizer. So they can be with AHA and BHA. Like there is Glow Tonic in the market, which is available these days. A lot of people are using it. Then it has AHA, BHA, or it can have hyaluronic acid. Or if you have a normal to dry skin, you can even use something with rose water. If you have sensitive skin, you can also use green tea. So that is how we do toner. And all these steps are done very quickly, one after the other. So you don't let your skin dry, because if you let your skin dry, then the natural content of water from the skin will start getting evaporated and dryness sets in. The idea to use these products is to lock in the normal content of moisture inside the skin. So always do that. So wash your face, dab your skin, and while it is still damp, use the toner on top. And now after the toner comes my specific ingredient, which I love to talk about, is a Korean skin step, which is the essence. So essence is a little thicker than a toner, but it is more lighter than a serum. So again, the essence is like a supplement, like toner is, with more actives that can go inside your skin. So now that the summers have started, you actually have to declutter your beauty closet by removing extra ingredients. But if your skin is more on the dry side and there are not many pores and oiliness, then you can definitely put in this step even during the summer. But I would suggest for people who have oily skin not to use the essence during summer, because it can, too much layering of products can also clog up the pores. So essence again, using in the similar way, just put in some liquid in your palm and dab all over your face. So after the essence comes my favorite step, and one of the most essential steps is the serum. Now serum comes in various forms, and it is something which is also called as the most powerful skin ally, because it has all the ingredients inside which can help mitigate the skin issues. Now those skin issues, even if you don't have, it's always a good idea to take your skin care to the next level by using all the products. So these serums can come in dropper form, or they can also come in liquid form. In different forms they are available. They can have hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, retinol, B3, sulfur, niacinamide. There are different actives which are available. So you need to use the skin serum according to your skin type. Not one serum is suggested for everyone, but I definitely suggest using a serum in the morning, because no matter how much we suggest to our patients, or even for myself, the amount of sunblock that we use is sometimes just not enough. And those serums, the active serums, especially with vitamin C, will help fight the sun damage or the pollution damage that can happen on the skin. Now I'm going to share what I'm using. So this is one of my favorite brands, SkinCeutical. It has vitamin C, 15%, it has 1% alpha tocopherol, and it has ferulic acid. So this is not available in India, but something like this that you can find in India is with FCL. So FCL Vitamin C-scape is available in India. Then there is also Is Clinical brand which has come down to India. It has Genexi serum, really good. And then there is Zenobaji Vitamin C Self-Activating Serum, which is again really good. So you can pick and choose the vitamin C serum. Don't use a very big amount, use a very small amount to start with and slowly build it up. Now if you have really a dry skin, then you can make your skin serum more active by adding hyaluronic acid. Now a lot of hyaluronic acid is generally added into the serums to make them more potent, but if it is not, you can add more hyaluronic acid on top. Don't mix your serum with the moisturizer. Now that's one mistake I see a lot of people doing, that okay, we don't have so much time, let's just mix it up with the moisturizer and apply. That's not a good idea, because the penetration of the serum would go down. So don't do that. So after the serum, when you have applied the serum, don't use the dropper directly on your face. Use it on the palm, activate it, and then press and release. So that's how you use the serum on the face. Now after the serum, you should be using an under eye cream. Now this is something that a lot of people are talking about, asking me questions, because while you are at home and the lockdown is going on, our digital exposure has increased, our watching TV has increased, our sleeping hours have got disturbed, and that is leading to a lot of stress under the eye. So what you definitely need to do is get more sleep. That is one. But also you should be using an under eye cream. Now what is the right age to use an under eye cream is above and beyond the age of 25, I would suggest, because under eye creams have various effects. It can not only help lighten the pigmentation, it can also help in depigmenting the under eye. So I'll tell you what I'm using these days. This is from Filorga Optim Under Eye. Just 2 to 3 small drops of it under the eye, and then dab, and then drain it out. That's the right way to use it. Don't scrub it under the eye, because that will cause a lot of irritation. Just dab, and drain it outside. Other under eye creams that I have is also something from L'Occitane that I recently received. It's with the inbuilt actives. It's only for the night, and there is a difference between using day under eye creams and the night, because at the night they are generally working on rehabilitation, or let's say rejuvenation, while the products that you're using in the daytime, they work on protection. So everything in the daytime, your day cream, your serum, your under eye cream, they will work on protection of your skin, while at night they will work on rehabilitating and rejuvenating. Now after you have applied your under eye cream, dab, drain outside, and tap a little bit over here, comes the moisturizer. So moisturizer is very, very important for all skin types. So even if you have oily skin, you have to use a moisturizer. For oily skin, the moisturizer can be more gel based, which is water soluble, and it is more light in texture. But for dry skin, normal skin, I would suggest a more creamy moisturizer. And for mature skin, it can be more dense. So even during the summer, I would suggest you using a light moisturizer with SPF, makes it even better. So the moisturizer that I am using these days is something from Estee Lauder. It is a day wear moisturizer. It is SPF 15. So even if I just, sometimes get lazy and don't apply sunblock, at least there's some sun protection inside. But definitely you have to use a sunblock post it. I'm almost finished with it. Just tap few of it on your face and then use it on circular motion all over. So always when you're applying this stuff, it goes out and up. Nowhere it goes down. So it goes out and up. Now post the moisturizer is the sunblock. So sunblock is one of the, not just one, it is the most important and the crucial step when it comes to skincare. Because sunblock, when we're applying, we are not only protecting our skin from sun damage, but it is also helping us prevent a lot of issues that can crop up on the skin, be it pigmentation, be it fine lines, be it melasma. So sunblock is really important. Now sunblocks can be of two different types. There can be a chemical sunblock, and then there can be a physical sunblock. So what is the difference, and what is the difference between a sunscreen and a sunblock? So chemical sunblock is generally meant with chemicals. So they go deeper inside the skin. The texture is more fine and you feel good when you apply them because they quickly get absorbed. And it helps in not only protecting your skin, but it also reflects back the damaging UVA, UVB rays. But when it comes to physical sunblock, they generally have actives like zinc oxide, or it also has titanium dioxide, which forms a white sheen on the face. So that's the physical sunblock. Now my suggestion to my clients would be a combination of a chemical and a physical sunblock. Now I'm going to show you what I like. So this is from Isdin Photo Protector. It's 50 plus, and why I like this is because it has very high protection, UVA, UVB, and you can even put it on wet skin. So even if you're outside sweating or swimming, you can even apply it on that skin. Another one which is really easily available is Kiehl's. I've used it. It's SPF 50, PA triple plus, high protection and also anti-pollution, something very easily available. And then there is another sunblock which is very well renowned. This is my new pack for this. This is Heliocare Gel. So for people who have more acne prone skin and oily skin, they can use this on their face, and it is with Fern Block Complex. So Fern Block Complex is something which makes it more natural, and you can use it every day. Definitely you have to use the sunblock half an hour before stepping out in the sun, and every 2 to 3 hours when you're out in the sun. So these are some of the products that I use. Look for SPF 30 to 40, PA triple plus, and dermatologically tested whenever you're putting a sunblock. Other products which are very easily available in the market are like La Shield. It has various combinations. It also comes in anti-pollution format. It also has a light texture, and there is also UV Dox, which is one of the good ones. There's Z Sunscreen, which is purely physical sunblock for people who are irritant to chemical sunblocks. So you can always pick and choose the sunblock accordingly. So that's my day skincare routine. Now coming to the night skincare routine and what makes it different from the day. So two more things that I use during the day and is there in my beauty closet is one is this brow and eyelash serum. So it's a natural brow and eyelash serum which has peptides inside, which helps in enhancing the growth for your lashes and your brows, and a little tinted balm, because this is the time you can actually give your skin some rest and not apply any makeup. Now apart from that, at night, so morning, as I suggested, we go more towards repair, protection, because we are using products which are protecting your skin. And now night, we can go a little step up, because that's the time your skin is going to relax, rewind, rejuvenate, help protect your skin. So at night, after washing your face, and if you have used any makeup after washing your face, I would suggest using a micellar water, because this is something that will help remove the pigment makeup. You just have to take it in the cotton and remove your makeup. In fact, in France, people just use this and not use a face wash, because you don't need water with it. You can just, rub it all over your face, and it has adherent property which just sucks out all the makeup, pigment, pollution without drying the face. So I would suggest, if you are using makeup, use the micellar water first and then the foaming face wash. After that comes the toner, then of course your essence if your skin is more on the dry side, and then comes your serum. Now your serum for the morning and for the night can be different. At night you can use maybe serums which are more retinol based also, if your skincare has been suggested like that. So at night your skin serum can be different, and then the under eye cream, and then the night cream. Now the night cream at night will be more hydrating, more richer. So my creams that I'm using right now is Filorga Time Filler. It is, I'll show you the texture, it's pretty heavy. So at night, the products that you use generally are a little more dense and heavy, because that time your skin can actually absorb more. And another one of my favorites is from Sulwhasoo. It is again very thick in texture, and you can use it in the morning and at night. And whenever you're using these products, make sure you apply all over your face and also your neck. Remember, your face doesn't end here, but your neck is also included. So that's for night. Now apart from that, what I would suggest is, or talk about in my beauty closet, is also the face packs. Now we all have these face packs. Now these face packs are not mandatory, but they're definitely boosters. Now there is a big hype about using the sheet mask in the market, and how do they work? So these sheet masks can be of different types with different ingredients. They can have a lot of factors. What they do, they are work with the occlusive therapy. So when you apply them on a clean face, they just have occlusive therapy to infuse more vitamins inside. So how you apply a face pack, a sheet mask should be, you wash your face, then you apply the serum, and then you put the sheet mask on. You can use your sheet mask basically 2 to 3 times in a week if you want, because that will be something very, very hydrating for your face. Other kind of face packs that people generally like to use is also pore cleansing. This is from Innisfree. So if you have a lot of blackheads, whiteheads, oily skin, then you can use something which is more for pore cleansing and is clay based. There are also creamy face pack, which is my bottle is almost finished. They are more creamy. They can be used for more mature skin and more for dry skin. You can leave a thick layer of the face pack on your face. You can give yourself a nice massage, and this will be hydrating your face more and more. So these are some of the face packs that you can have. There are also sleeping face pack which can be used at night. For that, you just have to wash your face and apply the sleeping face pack, and you just sleep with it because it's really hydrating and it is very thick. You don't have to apply a cream on top of it. Now, some other things that you need to have in your beauty closet are some beauty tools. Now, these beauty tools can help augment your skincare routine. Now, this is a gua sha. For people, I'm sure, who are using this would know. This helps sculpt your face and also lifts your face. And then comes the jade roller, which can be used on top of the sheet mask or just with the facial oil. And then you have some roller which also comes like this. So these are some skincare tools that you can use at home to augment your skincare routine even more. Add a tip and trick to that would be you can keep these tools inside the fridge so that they, when you touch them on your face, they are cooling and they further help in rejuvenating your face. Now to that, I have a question over here and I forgot to talk about it, was the facial oil. So a lot of people have facial oil in their skincare regime. Now, when does the facial oil go on the face? So facial oil goes on your face in the end and preferably at night because it's really hydrating. Don't use comedogenic oils on the face like coconut oil because they can clog up the pores and give you acne. Use these facial oils maybe twice or thrice in a week to start with, and slowly you can see how your skin is reacting to it. Just 2 to 3 drops. Don't avoid your neck. You can also give your face a good massage with the facial oils. Just wash your face, apply a good amount of facial oil and do some gua sha or a jade roller massage. That will really help in lifting and also making your skin hydrated. So that's from me, and some SOS care that I have in my regime is an eye drop because your eyes are getting tired. You need to use some lubricating eye drops. An anti-acne cream. It has clindamycin and adapalene, which I use at night on my acne. And there is a steroid and antibiotic cream in case I get a rash which needs a SOS care. So this is from my skin closet, guys, and now we will be taking some questions from all of you. So Pooja is asking me here a good serum. So Pooja, I'm going to be saving this live, and this live would be there on the IGTV at L. So you can check out there. I've spoken about a lot about serums. There are vitamin C serums, there are azelaic acid serums. They are all been mentioned. You can pick and choose from them, from the list that I've suggested. Takshi wants to know suggestions for acne on cheeks around PMS, prevention and treatment. So if you get acne around your cheeks and that too just premenstrual, then you know that this is hormonal in nature. First of all, get a spot corrector like this and make sure you apply it at night on the acne. Make sure you also cut down on the dairy and sugar in your diet. And if your periods are irregular or if you have PCOD, then you need to also check that because that will lead to more and more acne. So start with this and I'm sure that will help you. So Trapti wants to know about a vitamin C serum easily available at the drugstore. You should be getting a Cipla vitamin C serum very easily, and another vitamin C serum can be Sesderma C-Vit serum or Isdin Flavor C serum. These are some of the serums which are actually very easily available. Then I have some suggestions for facial oil. So I'll show you my facial oil. This one is from La Mer. It's a biphasic oil. So when we say biphasic, it has 2 phases like oil and serum inside. And then there is this from L'Occitane. It has serum in oil, specifically meant for night. This is very easily available in India. And there's also something available from Kiehl's, the Overnight Recovery Facial Oil. It has a lovely smell. It's a lavender smell it has. You can use that too. But whenever you're using facial oil, start with very small amount, because we don't want it to clog up your pores or give you any acne, and then slowly build it up from there. So Just Kaur wants to know about under eye fine lines. So if you're getting under eye fine lines, first of all, I would like to know how old are you and what is the history. Is it genetic or is it something new which is occurring? Because that can also be sometimes just due to dry skin. So just imagine seeing a very, very dry apple. You see more, lines, and the skin of the apple is more papery. So sometimes when your skin is just dry and dehydrated, the lines appear more. So I would suggest just look back, see what's causing it, increase your water intake, apply a nice hydrating under eye cream. So I was talking about my under eye creams here. You can also pick any of those creams, or you can buy Retis's under eye cream, Rock under eye cream. There's an avocado under eye cream from Kiehl's that you can also pick. So all these under eye creams can be used to hydrate the under eye area, and they will definitely reduce the under eye fine lines. So Ranjana wants to know about moisturizer with mineral oil or liquid paraffin have side effects. So yes, Ranjana, these are very, very thick moisturizing ingredients which can actually clog up your pores. So I wouldn't suggest you using them if you have open pores, because these can clog up the pores. These are highly comedogenic. So I have a question about supplements for good skin. So I will talk about generally about supplements, because that's one of the hot topics these days, and we all have to look at our beauty, our skin, our hair, our immunity, everything 360 degrees, and the supplements play a major role. Now, taking supplements doesn't mean that you compromise on your diet, because no matter how much you try to have everything in your balanced form in the diet, some or the other thing just goes amiss. So these supplements then play a very important role. So to start with, we talk about vitamin C. Now vitamin C, not only for your skin application, but for oral application is also, for oral intake is also very important. So minimum 1000 international units every day. So the good thing about vitamin C is that it is water soluble, and even if you take a lot of vitamin C, extra of this vitamin will just be excreted out of your urine. You can also include a lot of cabbage, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, lemon, and oranges in your diet, because they are natural sources of supplement for vitamin C. And then comes vitamin E. Now vitamin E, at least 400 international units per day. It's a powerful antioxidant which is very important for immunoprotection, but it also helps in protecting our skin. So that should be used every day. It's a fat soluble vitamin, so you need to give a break after taking the vitamin E for maybe about 2 or 3 months. Give a break for 15-20 days, and then you can restart again. It's also very protective for your cardiac health and also for your... From that comes the vitamins, which is actually a hormone, which is vitamin D. So vitamin D is a hormone which is actually produced in our skin cells on exposure to the sunlight. So vitamin D every day, about 1000 to 4000 international units is important, which is good for your mental health, for your skin health, for your hair health. So if you are having very, very low dose of vitamin D, which is coming in their blood levels, you need to take lots of dose, which is suggested like 60,000 international units, depending on how much dose it is. But otherwise, if you're in a healthy level, even then you need to have low dose of vitamin D. Apart from that, minerals like copper, it's very important, zinc, selenium, these can be included in your supplements. And then there are other vitamins which are like astaxanthin, which is very important carotenoid for your skin health. Glutathione, which is very important for skin glow. It's a normal antioxidant which is present inside our body, inside our body cells. But with the age, the normal levels of glutathione start to deteriorate. So that's why we start supplementing glutathione. So glutathione is also very important. So these are some of the skin supplements that one should be looking for. We also have a lot of questions about collagen. So collagen is a cementing material basically. And collagen is just not important for your skin, but also for your hair, for your nails, for your muscles, for your joints. So if you want to take collagen supplements, they would be more from bovine or marine sources. You can start taking them, or the vegetarian source can be actually very few, and there's also gelatin which has a collagen source. You can start taking them every day. So for you to see any results with them, you need to take them for a very long time, and it definitely improves your skin health. The appearance of the wrinkles go down. It also improves your bone health and also improves your muscle mass. So that was for skin. But for your hair, we would do a blood test to understand your iron levels. We would want to give you some biotin every day, because that is very, very important. So vitamin C for sensitive skin, I've already spoken about that. Now Pooja wants to know about freckles on the face. So Pooja, freckles are generally genetic. So I have a lot of patients in my clinic who come for treating their freckles, and with the ongoing treatments which involve lasers or PRP, we do see that freckles do tend to get lighter. But removal of freckles is something that is very tricky, because they tend to come back with stresses or with sun exposure. So it's a very, very tricky thing. Now for omega-3, this GNC omega-3 which is available in the market, I have also been personally taking it. It's one of my good ones. And so there's a question about pigmentation on the lower area of the face. So if you have pigmentation over here, I would like to see what is the reason behind this clinically, because pigmentation on the lower area of the face can also be due to fat gain, or it can be due to insulin sensitivity. So we need to understand why it is happening, and then we treat it from there. So get your blood check done, and if you're overweight, start reducing some weight and inches, because you possibly can also be having PCOD, or what is the history, because then it's very difficult for me to talk about it. So I'm going to just take last 1 or 2 questions here. Hussaina here wants to know about open pores. So we all have pores, and in fact pores has been the core issue of a lot of my chats recently, because everyone wants to reduce the appearance of pores. So pores are very normal and natural, but they become more and more visible if you don't clean them, or if your skin texture is not clean enough, or you're not keeping your skin healthy. So you have to use exfoliators to reduce the clogging of the pores and make them tighter, like AHAs and BHAs. Start using a salicylic acid based face wash, some AHA based gels or creams on your face. You can go in for treatments with microderma abrasion or derma rollers, which would further help in tightening up the pores. Amrita wants to know about can we use hyaluronic acid serum and vitamin C serum together, like one in the day and other in the night? You can actually mix them together, Amrita. It forms a very good combination. So the combination I was talking about from SkinCeutical and FCL, they all have hyaluronic acid inside them, because once your skin is hydrated well, the vitamin C is absorbed better. So it's a very good combination that you can do together. You can't combine retinol and vitamin C together at the same time. So if you're using retinol, that goes at night, and then the vitamin C in the morning. But otherwise, hyaluronic acid and vitamin C can be combined together. I guess I've taken a lot of questions here, and we have covered most of the things. I would like to conclude here by saying thank you to everyone for joining me here. And I'm Dr. Geetika. I'm the founder and medical director of Isaac Lux. Isaac Lux is in Delhi, in Vasant Vihar, and also in Bombay. So you can follow us, you can DM me in case you have any more questions. I would be happy to answer. Thank you, everyone.